All right, and we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Air Podcast, man. It's Money Monday. We're here with the Crypto Bros. We got all-time highs for Bitcoin. We're keeping the course open a little bit longer for you guys.
Yes.
We're going to talk crypto today. Next week, we are going to be covering real estate. We actually are going to do the real estate episode for you guys today. We're pushing it back. As you guys know, we're going to bring our manager in. Well, my manager in, Roger, who does my property management, and we're going to do a really big deep dive on real estate. But right now, man, there's great opportunities for cryptocurrency. We just for time purposes, we had to cover this today. So. Yeah, Charlie Miguel, welcome to the show, man. It's been you guys have been on many times, but for those that might not be familiar with who you guys are, can you introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, my name is Dollar Cost Crypto. I've been in crypto since 2016, and we started the Crypto Mindset course back in 2020. And we got people through the 21 bull market, the bear market, and back into the bull market. And we're ready to make this money, man. Last time we were here, some people were like, I don't know if this bull market is going to continue. And we just hit a new all-time high on Bitcoin, and we touched the all-time high in Ethereum as well. So
it's funny. Yep. They're making memes about Michael Saylor being happy about the all-time high dancing and stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He just keeps buying, man. He just keeps buying. He's a bull. But yeah, I'm Charlie from Cultivate Crypto, as a lot of you guys know. And yeah, co-founder of the Crypto Mindset course. We're here to make sure that everybody just kind of understands what's happening with crypto right now, because it is a pivotal point in the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin and now for a bunch of other coins as well as Ethereum. So we're very glad to be back on here today.
Welcome back.
Cool. So I guess, and guys, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the market, what's going on, what's the latest.
And phone calls.
And then we'll also take some phone calls from you guys as well. The number to call into the show is 646-490-03. Is it 84 or 94? I can't see.
84?
Nope, it's 94.
94.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, yeah. So the number's there at the bottom middle of the screen, guys. 646-490-0394. Again, that number is 646-490-0394. You guys can call into the show. But yeah, Charlie Miguel kind of give you guys an update of what's going on with the market, what's the latest. And yeah, we got some all-time highs, man, which is a good thing. So I'll let you guys take it away.
Yeah, jump on what we were talking about with fundamentals, and then I'll throw the charts after that.
Yeah, so basically, we're in October. We were calling this October last time we were here. Basically, we're going to get 2 interest rate cuts, one at the end of this month on the October 29th, another one on December 10th. This is like a long-term plan that the Fed's basically announced on the last Fed meeting, is that we basically, since September, now October, then in December, and then probably one in February, we're going to get about 100 basis points of cuts throughout this and the beginning of next year. And then when Jerome Powell gets replaced as the head of the Federal Reserve on May 12th, Trump's going to put someone in there that's going to cut rates further. So we're kind of we're heading into a place where basically on the macro market, the larger like kind of I would say credit market, rates are going down. Trump's probably going to cut it another like 100 basis points, and that'll be 200 basis points within like 9 months, which is crazy good, because that'll start kind of it'll start up real estate again. It's really going to start like a refinancing boom. Basically, people are going to start taking equity out of their house, and people that are kind of like house rich, cash poor, are going to basically sell houses or move around in the country. It's going to release a lot of capital. The real estate market since like 2022 has been kind of like the break on the market. Markets that are very, very liquid, like stocks and crypto, have been like soaring since basically the bottom of 22 onwards, basically. So we've been in a bull run in crypto since December, basically since the mega course that we did back in December of 22. And now we're entering a phase of we're entering an ETF boom. So Ethereum is going to get these staking ETFs approved that basically give you staking yield or dividend yields from the ETFs. And we're getting one for Solana. XRP's already gotten one. Doge has got it. We're basically going to get a couple of meme coins, and mostly layer ones. And if you don't know what that is, join the CMC. But we're entering this whole stage of the market where like Bitcoin has been really the strong one, but now a lot of the money on ETFs is starting to flip towards Ethereum, Solana, SUI, XRP, AVAX. Basically, any top cryptocurrency that's got kind of U.S. backing is getting the money, and what makes this cycle so important is that this is really the first cycle where America is like fully running the crypto market. So like Trump's a pro-crypto president. They have their own stable coin. You know, banks are making stable coins. Visa, MasterCard are making stable coins. Everyone's jumping in the game. So Wall Street's like putting their chips in right now. So the market's heading up, and then it's mostly kind of Wall Street / like VC coins that are pumping, but all the majors are going up right now and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
and
Yeah.
since we were last on stream here, there have been some kind of major developments with a lot of different crypto projects. Binance Coin has had Aster, which has pumped quite a bit. I think MasterCard has actually highlighted them as a project that they think is going to continue to do well. That was something that we mentioned a little bit on the stream,
Yeah.
but it's kind of developed since then. We've had MetaMask, which is run by Joseph Lubin, who helped start Ethereum. He co-founded Ethereum with Vitalik Buterin, and he's running some L2s and different projects that basically they're going to be used by Swift to send messages across borders, basically on the Swift network through blockchain. And so Ripple had been the project that wanted to kind of replace Swift with the blockchain, but Swift itself is starting to adopt some Ethereum-based players. And so, you know, the deals that have gone on between Vitalik Buterin, Joseph Lubin, Swift, the banking system, like there's a lot more happening in the background than we actually know about. And that's a good thing, because when there's a lot of, they're not really rumors, they're like Wall Street rumors, right? Where they're put out in news, but they only give you a bit of the information.
Right.
And then the rest of the information unfolds as those things are actually implemented. So I think everybody here is pretty early still, even to the crypto market for where we're at now, because if you just look at Bitcoin, yeah, we're hitting new all-time highs right now, which we said when we were last on the podcast here, I think it was September 19th or the 22nd, or both of those days, because it was Friday and a Monday, right?
Yeah.
We said we're basically going to new all-time highs in October for Bitcoin. Then Ethereum should follow. And like Miguel said, the ETF season is pretty much here. So Ethereum's going to get a staked ETF. Grayscale just applied for that, which they tend to be some of the first ones on Wall Street to get the new ETFs, along with BlackRock and ARK Invest. So if you get a staked ETF on Ethereum in this quarter, not only will Ethereum go to new all-time highs above 5,000, 5,500 into the end of the year, but then also you'll get a staked approval for Solana. And we know that Wall Street loves yield, so they'll go to anything that has like a decent yield. And then you go to two assets that basically have some of the best performance against pretty much any traditional asset over the last few years. And you get like 4% on top of that. Like Wall Street's just going to be frothing, putting in money on that. So yeah, we're pretty bullish on Ethereum. I'm kind of looking at where we're at now going into the end of the year as Ethereum season, because it's kind of been a sleeping dragon just waiting for new all-time highs.
Yeah.
So
And
just bringing up as well, like where we're at now with Bitcoin and Ethereum. People were asking on the Zoom call pretty much, what's the window of opportunity now? Is it still good to get into it now, or should they wait? When should they hop in to coins now?
So yeah, there's still a bunch of opportunity, but it's kind of like, now the Bitcoins are going to like this, but you know, when we were telling people to get into Bitcoin back when it was at its all-time low during December and early 2023 to get into Bitcoin under $20,000. After Bitcoin hit about $52,000, which is about $1 trillion market cap, I said it's better to switch off into like lower market cap assets and stuff like Ethereum. Ethereum was still about $1,000. Now it's almost $4,800 right now. You can still buy Bitcoin. If you buy Bitcoin now and you hold it for 5 years, you're going to be perfectly fine. You're going to make money on it, but it's a long ride. It's a longer ride versus like if you're just trying to make a little money on the short term for over the next 9 months or preferably 6 months. You know, you can buy Ethereum right now pretty safely. I would buy it below $5,000. If it's above $5,000, I think you'd be better off buying into like stuff that's like AVAX or Cardano or Sui, Sonic, or there's quite a lot of other coins, just because like we're later in the cycle basically. So it's like this is where things start moving fast. Coins really start pumping now. It's risk on, but it's the sort of time where like basically Bitcoin can still like double. It could potentially double or maybe only go up another 50 grand. So you're better off during this part of the cycle to be in kind of the lower cap, safer stuff that's got like ETFs, treasury companies, and basically Wall Street money backing it. And you can make some sizable money there and then take profits and then basically wait out the cycle and buy the bottom again, basically.
Yeah. One thing that, excuse me, one thing that we have that's awesome is the 60-day cycle, aka the Lucas cycles. They're cycles that were first noticed on Bitcoin by Bob Lucas. So that's something I want to show you guys here today on the charts as well, just because in terms of timing, there's some nuance to it for like how Bitcoin moves against the altcoins right now. But there's opportunity here throughout the whole quarter. And then also just to mention, we'll mention this when we mention the charts, but in the chat a little while back, there's a guy named AntCat who says, I was in the CMC, which is the crypto mindset course, Q3 and bought Pengu at 0.0175, which is about a penny and some change. And he's in profit still, he says, thanks to DCC and Charlie CMC for the win, which I just wanted to mention that W there because Pengu's on a 2x from that price, and it hasn't even exploded yet. It's already done an explosion from its bottom, but I believe Pengu and Virtuals are two coins that are highly correlated with Ethereum and Bitcoin that seem primed for like a few more X's this quarter than a lot of others. So if you guys don't mind, I can share the chart here and kind of give everybody a breakdown of where the market's at right now.
Yeah, can you?
Yep, definitely. Here, let me share screen.
Yeah. And there's also one thing I wanted to say too, as well. So one last thing on the macro side is that one of the earliest things I predicted last cycle was during like the bear market when we were crashing from 21 into 22. I said the exit liquidity of this market cycle was going to be Vanguard. Vanguard are they're basically the largest kind of like 401k holder. This is like people's retirement funds for like certain police officers, nurses, and all the way to like basically like Safeway employees and Starbucks employees. So a lot of big corporations and kind of everyday kind of normal jobs to very high class jobs use Vanguard, and Vanguard just announced they're going to enter crypto. So they have been for the last like since 21 till like just now until like a few weeks ago, we're saying that no, we will not enter crypto. Crypto's a scam. And Vanguard just announced they're going to enter the market very soon. So they're last in. They're basically, I think Vanguard is going to buy the top for us. So another one came true.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, you get, if you doubt DCC on that too, because there's some haters that always come into the chat. Literally go over to his Twitter.
I got it pinned.
Dollar Cross Crypto on Twitter. He's got it pinned since like 23.
23, yeah. So I had been saying it since 22, and then one day I thought, wait, why am I just not? I should write this fucking down.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like Vanguard's going to be the exit liquidity for the cycle, as well as like there's a couple other retirement funds like Calipers. That's a huge one for California for like that one's strictly like nurses, firefighters, and police officers. I think they're going to be really late to the game, and they're probably going to buy the top.
I think we can see now that everyone that doubted crypto basically is saying, you know what, we're going to buy some now. Vanguard, Cardone, all these companies that were saying Bitcoin is bad, don't buy it. Now they're buying in dozens.
It's here to stay, bro.
Thousands.
It's here to stay. And as government clamps down and there's riots going on and more instability, it just makes cryptocurrency go up even more. There's riots all over Portland right now with ICE facilities. I think when the Democrats come back, they're definitely going to wage a war on the right. So you got to get some type of money that's decentralized, guys. Like at this point, it's like if you don't have cryptocurrency, like what are you doing?
But basically, there's a window of opportunity still here for you to capitalize on what's happening.
Maybe not Bitcoin, but you can at least get with some of the other coins.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So let's break that down for you guys. So we'll go exactly to when we were on stream with you last. So right here, the reason why we launched the crypto mindset course on September 19th was that it was we always launch on a Friday.
And classes start tomorrow, right? Or tonight?
Yeah, yes, it starts tomorrow morning. So
tomorrow morning classes start. Okay.
Everybody who wants to get in, we're going to leave the Fresh and Fit link open until noon Pacific tomorrow, which will be after the first webinar is completed, but it is recorded. And we have basically 2 webinars tomorrow, one at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, one at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have 2 days off. So if you're brand new and you got in a little late because you just saw this stream today, no problem. Basically, watch the first or second or both of those webinars on recording. Plus, we have plenty of stuff in the pre-recordings for you guys to like review different things coming in, like if you have the right exchanges set up, the right security, all that. Then you'll have 2 days basically to catch up on that information. And then I believe that will be the 10th that we'll be back for the main dish, for the main section. So that gives you guys, some chance to get in and some chance to review the content that's already been put out because we're pretty close to webinars. But we came here on Friday, the 19th, which is 2 days after rate cuts, plus a Friday when we usually launch. And part of the reasoning for this was, well, after rate cuts, we usually get some volatility. Oftentimes there's a short-term pullback. And one of the things that people who've taken the crypto mindset course know is that whenever we do launch a course, there tends to be a good pullback opportunity to buy into. Now, that opportunity was basically perfect here because the next stream that we did with you guys was a Money Monday. So that price, the first price that we came in at was about 116,500. Then when we came in on Money Monday, price had dipped down to the 111-day moving average, which is this blue line here, down to about 112,500. So from the Friday show we did with you guys to the Monday show, right, we dropped down $4,000, which is a few percent for Bitcoin. And I think that freaks the market out. So whenever that stuff does happen, we're close to all-time highs. The narrative for the 4-year cycle, right, is that the high happens exactly 3 years and 11 months apart, which would be in October of this year. But like Miguel said, a lot of the stuff that's happening with the Fed, the macroeconomics is a different scenario. So we see more liquidity of the 4 to 5 year liquidity cycle actually bleeding into next year. And so we're pretty confident that Bitcoin is going to continue this run. And this low here happened just a few days after we were off of the Money Monday stream at about 108,000. Now at this point, the fear within the crypto market, I think, was over exaggerated compared to usual. On the fear greed index, we actually went down below 30, which doesn't happen too often. So that was a very good buy opportunity. And then we
bought heavy, and we bought heavy.
We've been on stream that whole week there telling everybody, hey, now's the time to get into the course. Now's the time to buy Bitcoin. Now's the time to buy Ethereum. Now's the time to buy Solana. And to be honest, like whenever we mention those things, sometimes, you get a lot of haters because that's actually a good sign for people who are dip buyers at that time, because when the overall sentiment is negative, right, it's usually a good time to buy. Now, the sentiment is still negative in crypto because people are like, well, we could get the high at any moment. But if you have been paying attention to the crypto market this full 4-year cycle, I mean, we were on here on Fresh and Fit on November 21st, 2022, which was the exact day of the $15,500 low on Bitcoin. And now we're more than, like a 7-8x above that. Just a few years.
Sitting at 124, 125-ish right now.
Yep, exactly. And so, and pretty much the last 3 days, we've been getting new all-time highs each day. The current new all-time high is about a little over 126,000 on Bitcoin. So that run there, of course, you're not going to buy the exact low, but let's say you averaged in around this area. I mean, just on Bitcoin, you got a 10% move. On a lot of altcoins, you got some 10, 20% moves as well. So yeah, it's just been a really good run there. The cool thing about where we're at now, though, is that this is where the 60-day cycles give an edge. And this is why I think a lot of people in crypto don't do cycles. They don't do timing because they don't understand them. Now, everybody, and I mentioned this, I think, on the Money Mondays when we talked, some people were asking about the 4-year cycle. The high does not define a cycle. A cycle is defined by its low to low. And so the cool thing about here is once we saw this low was not going to break where the cycle began on the 60-day cycle, and this was right near the halfway point, day 30 of the 60-day cycle. Usually if you're going to get a bearish move or a down move, it's going to happen in the first half of a cycle before day 25. And if you're going to get a bullish move, it's going to happen on the second half of the cycle, and the high is going to land somewhere between day 45 to 55 the majority of the time. It can be a little earlier or a little later, but that's the majority. And so once we saw this area here on the exact day, you can go to my stream on Cultivate Crypto on YouTube, Miguel's stream on Dollar Cost Crypto on September 30th, Tuesday, as well as October 1st. We said, hey, we're finding these new support areas. That's going to launch us into the second half of the 60-day cycle, likely to hit new all-time highs, not guaranteed. And then here's the fun thing. So where is that day 45 to 55 landing? The day 45 lands here on Thursday, October 16th. And then the day 55 lands on October 26th. So essentially we have 1 to 3 weeks from where we are now of upside here on Bitcoin. How high that goes, we can make some guesses and we can do some charts and different things. It's probably going to go towards 130 to 140 during the month of October here. Could it go a little further? Sure. The highest I would see it going if we got a gangster move would be like $150,000, $155,000 Bitcoin. But that's probably going to be reserved for November. So the cool thing here, let's say on average for the month of October, Bitcoin usually, like I said, on average, and let me actually show you the stats on this too, so that you guys know I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass. So if you go down here to the month of September, usually it's a -3%. It was a +5% this time. It was the last 3 years. It's been a plus just a few percentage. We're already up 10% here in October, just like we did last year. The year before we did almost 30% for the month of October. And the average is 20% for the month of October. So if we just go with the average from where the month of October started, we'll go to literally October 1st here, which was at 114,000. A 20% move would bring you to about $137,000, $138,000 Bitcoin, which would be a 2x right off of its previous all-time highs from last cycle, which I think Miguel had mentioned before.
Can you go back to the monthly chart just because the monthly return chart? So just for someone who doesn't know what this is basically tracking since 2013 till 2025, every single, how much the month has ended in either negative or positive returns since 2013 to 25. So every month, January, February, March, April, everything. So usually October's been really good. And usually if October's pretty decent and stuff, like we on most of them, we end up getting a pretty good November as well.
Yeah, the average for November is actually double at 50, almost 50%.
50%.
Right. And last year we got 37. So that's pretty good. One cycle ago we got 42. So I would say we could get anywhere between like a 33 to 50% gain in in November, depending on how crazy things get. And that's similar to what we saw last year. I mean, if we get up here for October to 137, let's say, and then let's say we just go with the average of 40% in November, this starts to get fun. No, don't stop, Bitcoin. Don't stop. 40% return would bring us by the Thanksgiving, let's say, to about $190,000 to $195,000 Bitcoin. So about 193,000 if we're going exact there, which is totally within the realm of possibility for you guys who are data freaks, which in this market is absolutely essential. If you come over here, what you'll notice is this is the golden ratio multiplier, which is on bitcoinmagazinepro.com. You just go to that website, you go to charts, Bitcoin charts, and then you can find it over here. The cool thing about this is this whole cycle, the 350-day moving average, which is this yellow line, the 1 year moving average essentially has been ultimate support as long as we're staying in a bull market. And then the ultimate rejection area is that area times 2, which is this red line here. So for the month of October, if we were to get right now, that's at about 200,000. So for this month, Bitcoin could speculate as high as $200,000 to $210,000 if things were to go absolutely batshit insane. We don't see that happening this month. This 1.618 Fibonacci extension off the 350-day moving average is about 160 to 170,000 right now. So that would be aggressive, but a little bit more within the realm of possibility. Like I said before, I think it's probably more likely we get to let's say 135 to 145 is a pretty cool area to get for where we're going this month. And then, so this is the cool part about the 60-day cycle. So let's pick the exact middle of that average, which is day 50, which would be Tuesday, October 21st. I'm not here calling that's going to be the exact day, but probability wise, plus or minus 5 days from there, around 135 to 145,000 tends to be pretty close to what we are likely to get. And then our pullbacks here for each 60-day cycle, the last two 60-day cycles are what we call right translated, which just means that the high was on the second half past day 30, which means things are bullish. The bull trend is likely to continue. We had a 14% decline there. This one here, we had about a 12 or 13% decline. So if we get up to this area here of 137,000 and we get a decline of about, let's go aggressive and say 14%. Yeah, it'll bring prices lower than where we are now. We might break out here, right, and then come back to the breakout area for support. This is what we saw here. We came up, hit a new high, chilled out for a bit. Once we hit a new all-time high, where did it come back to? Basically previous solid support areas. Yeah. So a breakout here coming back basically to where this section was here, and the top of this section here is very it's not like guaranteed or anything, depends on how high we go, but it's within the realm of possibilities. So Could you get a lower Bitcoin price than where we are now at the end of the month or the beginning of November? Yes. Would that be a buy opportunity? Absolutely, because a lot of what Miguel said with the fundamentals of what the Fed is doing going into the end of the year, any of these dips here basically in this month and early next month are good for buying. So
we always get volatility into Fed cuts. So basically, October 29th is the next cut. So either we're going to get guys trying to like buy the rumor, sell the news, which means it's like, okay, I know the cut's happening on October 29th, so I'm gonna buy it up and then take profits before the cut, or it just pumps into the cut and then there's a bit of a turmoil dip right after, and then the market keeps going up because now it's cheaper to borrow money basically. And we know that there's going to be another cut in December 10th. So basically the month of November could also be very good, and then there'll be a shakeout towards the end of the year. And I think that the end of December is probably going to be more like sideways to kind of boring, because when you enter the holiday seasons, there's a tax loophole where basically you can sell off cryptos that you're in losses to lock in the loss and then rebuy back in January 1st. Tax loss harvesting, basically.
Yeah, it's like and then you have hedge funds that are trying to lock in their profits so they have it on the books and then redeploy at the beginning of the year. So that second 2 weeks of December is usually a little rough on crypto.
And one thing Charlie said that was so important is that, when we get these new all-time highs, we'll take a nice dip, right? This is why you have to have testicular fortitude. You have to invest like a man. You can't invest like a girl, right? Girls always want to buy the all-time highs. Girls want to fuck the winners, right? You can't invest like that. You have to buy when it's red. When there's blood in the streets, that's when you make money, basically, right? So when this is why we came on Fresh and Fit on the 19th and the 20th, and then on Money Mondays, is because we knew there was going to be some turmoil. The dip was there, so we were going to tell the most amount of people, and then look what happened. We got $108,000 Bitcoin. You didn't have to buy Bitcoin. You could have bought any other coin too.
Yep.
And those top coins we recommended, and their prices are higher right now.
Yeah, we'll look at Ethereum, we'll look at Solana, and then we'll look at the total crypto market cap as well, just as those tend to be the charts that are good reference points. So if you look at just this chart right here, and I turn on what we call the Cultivate Crypto algo, we had a buy signal right after that week we came on Fresh and Fit here at 115,000. That's this buy setup. The diamond is the confirmation. We'd had a sell previous to that. That canceled it out. The fun thing right now on the weekly is that you're getting a sell setup on this week. So if we finish this week at about 130,000 or just shy of $130,000 Bitcoin, usually if we're still in an uptrend, that sell setup will act as support. So the next, I would say in about 10 days, right, you want to be on high alert to kind of watch if Bitcoin's going to use that wherever this weekly close happens, if it's going to use that area as support to continue up, or if it's going to struggle around that area. If it starts struggling around that area, right, might be a good area to shave some profits, let things come back down a little bit, and then buy back cheaper at the end of the month. So we're going to be helping everybody in the crypto mindset course to take profits. We're going to help everybody to buy back in again going into the next month, because we're off of YouTube on our own channels. We usually give free content 5 days a week, but we're off of YouTube completely until the end of this month, just to focus on everybody in the crypto mindset course. So the monthly is looking really nice, the weekly is looking really nice. If we go to the monthly on Bitcoin too, because for those guys who don't know charts as well, each of these candles represents 1 month of price action, because I changed it to 1 month per candle. And if I turn on the buy sell signals there, we canceled out this sell signal on the monthly at 84,000 back in April, and we've basically been in an uptrend ever since then. So if you're looking at it on the highest time frame, which usually has the best long-term holding strategies, you had support here at this sell setup because it did not hit. And that was at the end of August. At the beginning. My bad. At the end of August. So that was that $107,000, $108,000 Bitcoin. So our guys have been pretty bullish this whole time. Been everybody who understands this stuff. And we break this stuff down for you guys all in the course, because I know sometimes it's like, man, this guy's speaking fucking Greek. What the hell is he saying? Like, is it going up or going down, Charlie? Well, it's going up into the end of the month. Then it dips a little bit. Then you buy some at the beginning of November. Then it goes up a lot more. Right.
And then we take profits and we sell a lot of meme coins.
Exactly. And then you have a very happy, fat Thanksgiving.
Yes. And we have recommendations for, if you want to be a person that's only Ethereum or only Bitcoin, we help guys like that out. We actually recommend mostly being heavier in Bitcoin and Ethereum, But there's guys that want to risk it for the biscuit, try to make some money, no risk, no story. All right, then we have you too. We try to recommend portfolios that are more suited to like a little less volatility and then having risk on there. But some guys, they just want nothing but crazy. Some people only want crazy goth chicks. I mean, that's what you want. You know,
So-
we'll give you,
So,
meme coin to win.
so Miguel, back in 21, Michael Saylor mentioned to go get a mortgage and buy Bitcoin. And one of your students that's a part of our show, he bought Bitcoin and Pepe back in the day. That's all he bought. And he turned out money into getting a property, of course, and the rest is still in Bitcoin as of today. But question, if the rates do go down, people refinance, obviously their homes to get more money out, do you think it's viable, let's just say if I'm going to be aggressive, be crazy a little bit, to put that money into Bitcoin? Because that's the sentiment
And
now.
remember, guys, we still got to hit the phone lines too.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think, Miguel?
So I think it's so yeah. You mean So I think it's still viable depending on where we're at in the market. So like if we're talking about like we're in March or April of 26, I'd probably say wait until the end of the 26, then put your money into Bitcoin.
Okay.
If you're taking from a house, because depending if it's a 1031 exchange or something, you have like a year to do it or whatever, or I guess it doesn't really matter really if you're gonna put into Bitcoin at that point. But like, basically, it depends where we're at in the market, basically. So like, if you're a long-term holder and you buy Bitcoin, I just would buy that Bitcoin on a dip, basically maybe at the beginning of November or late October, buy it there for your Bitcoin. But if you're talking about like you're selling some house in the first or second quarter of 26, I would tell people to wait 6-7 months into maybe even January of 27 and then just go all in on Bitcoin right there. And then that's one of the main things that we got really well known for, is that we were one of the only YouTubers that didn't fuck off of YouTube, and we were completely with people during the bull run and the bear market. And we got our guys, we bought like a ton of our students bought Solana under $10. I bought all my Solana at $16 and $20. It's at $230. It went up to 300. Solana is going to get an ETF real soon. They're going to go anywhere from $400 to $500 before the end of the year, very likely with the ETF purchases, as well as like there's treasury companies buying Solana as well as AVAX, like, even Chainlink's getting an ETF and treasury companies to buy them. So we're going into a really good like fourth quarter, even possibly into the first quarter.
Yeah. And I'll just really quickly go over the last 2 to 3 charts here, just for Ethereum, total market cap for altcoins, and then Solana, just as quickly as possible. So why do you chart Bitcoin? You chart Bitcoin to see where the general trend of the crypto is going. The general trend is up, which is great. There'll be dips along the way to buy. Awesome. So there's still time. You turn on the CC algo on Ethereum, it gave a sell signal here at 4,400. So what that meant was it's a pause in the uptrend. We came down and hit this support area. And then once we got back above there, 4,400, then we're off to the races again. So that buy signal still for all the way down here from $1,800 Ethereum is still valid basically. And so we're barely off of 4,400 here at 4,700. What I think is going to happen here, if that Ethereum staked ETF gets approved here in this month or in this quarter, is you probably see something along the lines of this. So I said Bitcoin can go up to the end of the month. So I think you see Ethereum come up here, start hitting in that 5K range, maybe gets towards 6K or something. We could get really nice prices depending on how high Bitcoin goes. And then in the month, at the end of this month, going into November, you might come back down to current prices or a little higher. Use support. I think that 4,400 area is probably going to be support. And then you likely have that bigger move, like I said, in November. I saw somebody in the chat ask, is Thanksgiving the top? I mean, we'll have to see as the data rolls in, but I think we're going to be bullish into that period. Then the second half of December is where things cool off.
The cut's nice, but it's the last cut of the year probably is going to be like buy the rumor, sell the news.
Right. And so we have the take profits course with you guys as well in here. So we're going to be talking with webinars in there. We're going to be supporting you guys with all these webinars between now and into January. So into the beginning of Q1 even. So Ethereum's, once it breaks out here, goes above 5,000. It, like I said, it might do a stutter step, come back down a little bit, test the breakout, and then go. And when that happens, that's when the, I would say, over speculative craziness starts happening in crypto that can start bleeding into Q1. And what does that mean? That means alt season happens, you start getting Solana moving, you get Ethereum moving.
$5,200 Ethereum and above, we're in alt season, basically. So like one thing, like I want to say this to Myron right now. Ethereum is literally at the 21 all-time high right now. We're literally within like what, $1,000? No, not $1,000. Maybe a couple $100 or $100. So we're literally at
sitting at 46.83 right now.
Yeah, so we're literally at where it was at the all-time high in 2021.
Yep. And then and so that leads the altcoins. And so Bitcoin moves the market in the trend direction. Then Ethereum basically gets everything excited. Once everything's excited, then you get an altcoin season. Here for the this is called the total 3, which is basically market cap for all of crypto except Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what we have here on the CC algo is that we have a sell setup where last week's candle happened. So what that means is altcoins are basically at support as long as this trend continues, which it looks like it will. It had one of these sell setups happen here on a candle, and basically every candle after that was up and to the right. Doesn't mean it's a smooth ride up and to the right, but you get higher lows essentially on your altcoins during that time. So what does that mean? Since middle of July, or since the end of July, and when we were in the Q3 crypto mindset course, we were basically at this point here at the end of June. If you guys basically were in Q3, you caught all of this move here with the altcoins. Some people made 2Xs on their portfolios. Some people made 3, 4Xs, depending on what you were in. And then the last chart here to really take a look at is Solana. And of course, if you guys don't understand some of what we're saying, get in the crypto mindset course. We will break it down a lot slower, a lot more simply, and in a lot more detail over time. But Solana here, I guess, yeah, if you're looking at the previous all-time highs, it tested it once, twice, got rejected here. It's coming up again here. So it looks like if Bitcoin hits those prices I've been talking about in October, you get Solana testing maybe $300, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower again by the end of this month. Maybe a pullback back to like 250, 260, 240. And then from there, again, the rest of Q4, that's where you can have the blow off move for Solana too. So everything here is looking pretty good. I'll stop sharing the screen there, but everything here is looking really, really nice. It's like we're kind of, the setup we had when we were last on Fresh and Fit was the ideal setup for people who are really understanding the market and seasoned dip buyers. We're now at the point where it should be obvious that, okay, I need to basically get into this market and have some exposure to this. But if you're trying, once we come back on here again in Q1, which might not be until January or February, you're going to really wish, in my opinion, you're going to really wish you had gotten into this course.
So yeah, they'll wait until November to buy, and then it'll crash on them a little bit. Yeah.
All right, so phone call, fellas. Phone calls.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, special mention to Shift Podcast. 20 subs on Rumble. Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out to you, bro.
Shift Podcast. Chris.
Yeah, 646-490-0394 is the number to call in, guys. You got your questions. Obviously, you got 2 experts here. Get your questions in. If you donate to the show, obviously, you get in way faster into the line. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit the first phone call.
Quick word from our sponsor.
Let's do the first phone call first.
Phone call first? Okay, cool. All right. Who's up first?
Yes, we have 3419. You're up. 3419. You're up.
Yeah, hello?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Charlie Miguel? This Cordarius, man. You already know.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all, man, because I found y'all on Fresh and Fit in 2023 when I was in Florida. So I had found about Myron and Fresh, so I thank y'all, too. Y'all doing your thing, man, so really appreciate you. So, man, I'm just, really thankful for what y'all doing. So I got like a portfolio saying like a 20K right now. So
Let's go.
Yeah, I got a lot of, like Sui, Pepe, and all that, like Alcorns, and I also took the CMC last quarter too. So I kind of already know what to do. Been doing it for 2 years, so yeah, man.
Yeah, I love to hear it, Cordarius. Yeah, one of the coolest things that, because Cordarius is a guy who I think has the right crypto mindset. He's been paying attention to us ever since he saw us for the first time, been making some money on that information. But the most important thing is he actually made a promise to himself on my stream. He put in a super chat and said, I want to get as much Bitcoin as I can at the end of 26, beginning of 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow you guys between now and then, cultivate crypto, dollar cost crypto as much as I can into the market, make some money, and then really get that. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get that one full Bitcoin, but I think, to be honest, if we get to $200,000 Bitcoin, we come back down to, let's say, 60,000 in the bear market. You turn that 20K in the next, let's say, 6 to 9 months to 60 plus K, then you get yourself to that one full Bitcoin that you're looking for, Cordair. So yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the journey, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
Likewise, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Who's up next?
All right.
2628, you are up. 2628, you are up.
Yo, what's good?
You.
Hope everybody's doing well, man. I just had a couple quick questions regarding the crypto market, because I hear a lot of people saying that we are prime and ready to go for an altcoin season, but a lot of people that I've spoken to are really pushing for this bull narrative. I had yet to hear anything about a bear possibility, because we are at an all-time high, and from what I'm hearing from certain influencers that aren't more mainstream, they're a little more low-key and kind of like are unbiased with the whole mainstream population that's like bull market, that there might be a possibility that this could be the top and then we could come down from here. Do you have any indicators of that, or at least an argument that it could possibly happen?
Yeah, of course. Like, you have to take that possibility into account anytime that you're in the market. You have to look for, okay, I have my main thesis, which is we're in a bull market. We're going to go to new all-time highs from here, which we have been. But you have to have the counter argument and be like, okay, what is the negative possibility? So we're tomorrow morning, we're going to be doing the Q1 thesis webinar for everybody in the Crypto Mindset course. So if you jump in there, we'll give you a lot more detail. But basically, if I'm going to give an argument for the top being in now, the simplest argument would be that we're 3 years and 11 months from the previous high, which happened in early November of 2021. And usually the 4-year cycle high is 3 years and 11 months later, which would be early the first half of October 2025. So if we got a weak pump to like 130, Bitcoin really struggles, and then Bitcoin goes back below 100K in November, that would be your signal, most likely, that the top for this 4-year cycle is in. Right. Now, the evidence is just simply the last 3 cycles have had the same top, which, if you understand cycles, not just 4-year cycles, but 60-day cycles and how cycles work overall, they're measured from low to low. So the high is less impactful. And so there's really no reason for why the high should be right now in crypto. But everybody has that PTSD a little bit, being like, right, we think the high should be right now. And they ignore what's happening on the macro market with the Fed and money printing and all liquidity still coming into the market, because every time we get more liquidity, market generally goes up. So there's liquidity happening in other countries. Japanese yen's getting a little scary, so they're money printing like crazy. Same with China. The United States won't be too far behind. Switzerland's doing it. So I think there's a lot more cases to be made for the bull case, but there are some cases made for the bear case. So you're absolutely right. The other one that I would say right now that you could look at is you could say there's been kind of this slight constant bearish divergence with RSI on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. That one, I would say, it's something to watch and pay attention to. You don't want to ignore that. But I don't think, like, RSI itself usually is a momentum indicator. And one thing we teach in the course, so there are 4 buckets of information that you need to look at when you're looking at technical analysis. That is price. So that's your moving averages. That's your support resistance, that basic stuff that everybody usually starts with. Then you have time, which is cycles. Then you have momentum, which is like RSI or MACD. And then you have trend, which is it going up or is it going down? So usually the RSI and the momentum indicators are confirmation tools. They're not necessarily going to give you as much about the trend. So I would say I'll take that with a grain of salt, but I'm definitely looking at that stuff for sure.
And on the fundamental and kind of psychological side, one number that I'm calling out to everybody is kind of $138,000 Bitcoin to 156, which is basically, I said this on the last stream we were on with Fresh and Fit, as well as inside the Castle Club Premium call. I'd said 138 is basically a 2x of the all-time high of 21, right? That's a psychological level, just because people like, whoa, shit, we're at a 2x from 21. That could be a top, so that's just one thing. Like that's when we ring the alarm. Okay, head on a swivel now. We're in the danger zone. And then the other one would be 156, which would be a $3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. These are just psychological sort of like head trip levels. They haven't. They're just things we kind of look out for, and we have other ones that are much higher in market cap as well. But like these are ones that I've been telling my students to kind of, all right, let's watch out here because we're in a bit of a danger zone that we've started into now because now the market's kind of longer in the tooth. But
Danger zone.
but nice one. But there's just so much sort of money still coming in that like here's one of the things that's tripping up a lot of the OG guys on Twitter and YouTube and stuff. Is that they're so DeFi heavy and L2 heavy that they've been. I mean, let's just be honest, because Ethereum has been Ethereum for most of the cycle has been a bit underbought. Basically, Wall Street's been loading up their bags without basically pumping it. I mean, even Tom Lee, he never buys any green candles. He only buys limit orders and he buys OTC to buy up supply. These large institutions have been just scooping up Ethereum supply on the low. And you have guys like Saylor who just full ports into every green candle as soon as he gets the money. As soon as the check clears, he just buys it. So basically, now these ETF purchases are now starting to get very large, and they're starting to go more towards the altcoins and Ethereum, basically, which this cycle has been completely dominated by US and VC money, basically, and big institutional money. And so there's a certain portion of YouTube and like Twitter influencers that are very, very ecosystem specific, and if their ecosystem has been doing bad, they haven't really experienced a bull run, basically. So like them, if you're a maximalist, that means you're all in on Bitcoin, you've been in a bull run. You're all in on Ethereum, you've been in a bull run. You're all in on Starkware, you're doing terrible. There's a lot of L1s that are like, if you like, I'm just in this one coin, and if your coin doesn't do good, I mean, this whole market's all dog shit, dog. I mean, the bear runs are here already because it's just jealousy, basically. Like the strategy like that me and Charlie have done has been we've been multi-coiners. Like we're heavy in some big stuff, but we take shots in other ecosystems. We move money around, and this has worked out really well. Like we caught the meme wave, we caught Solana wave, we caught the Ethereum Bitcoin wave, and I have money in coins that I believe that will run when Ethereum runs. But there is people in here that they've had a really bad time in this bull run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sentiment wise, one thing I'll say, because you mentioned Tom Lee, there was a crypto conference that just finished at the end of last week in Singapore. And I think it was conference 2049 or something like that. Tom Lee was on stage, and he's trying to get 5% of all Ethereum. He's putting a ton of money into it. And somebody, the panel guy, actually literally asked him this question, which was, is buying ETH that heavy retarded? Like they actually asked him that question on stage, and he was like, well, I am ETH-tarded, so yes. But he was just joking, of course. But whenever you have that sentiment of people within crypto, the people who should be paying attention the most, being so negative on something that the whole conference is based around, right? Like that to me is a signal. There was a guy named Gainsey when Ethereum was about $1,500 earlier this year.
My favorite Jew streamer.
Oh yeah. He was saying basically, you're retarded if you bought Ethereum this whole cycle. It's been down. It's terrible. It's one of the worst returns. And I was like, oh, this is where we got to buy a shit ton more Ethereum, because you got a crypto guy shit talking pretty much the top, second top coin in the whole market. And so when I see people at these conferences have that type of sentiment right now, and like it's half jokingly, of course, but when they say stuff like that, and because that narrative is there among some of the audience, I'm like, oh shit, we're not bullish enough, bro.
And I like Gainsey too. Like he makes some good calls here. Like you can't be right about everything. And like, he's had some historically bad ones.
Well, and everybody has emotion, so you can always read emotion of different people if you've watched them long enough.
Yeah, and then just to put this in perspective right now, right? So Bitcoin's at basically all-time highs, 124, 125,000. It's done an 8x. So from 15,500 to now, you made 8 times on your money. Pretty good. For Ethereum to do the same amount of return, it has to be at $6,200. So Ethereum has a bunch more room to go. So that's why it's more of a value play to buy Ethereum right now, if you're going to buy Ethereum, because there's just more gains in it right now. And the ETFs purchases and the ETF upgrades that are happening are going towards Ethereum right now. So Ethereum's going to make some nice returns,
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, caller.
Yeah. No, I had
we got a lot of people on the line too, man. So we got it, guys. I know we got to give them more short and succinct answers.
Also, girls are here as well.
Yeah. So we gotta be a bit faster with these guys. Anything else before we get to the next person?
Nope, we're good.
No, we're good. Let's go.
All right, Fresh,
next?
you going to read the thing? You going to do that, or?
You got it.
What, I got to do it? No, we're not. All right, let's do one more caller, and then I'll do it.
Wait, is he gonna call in the Bitcoin guy? Hey, call in, man.
He
Call in,
is,
brother.
bro.
We're here waiting,
Yeah,
bro.
Weirdo
Call in,
probably
man.
is gonna call in, bro. He calls in every fucking
Because they did
time.
say to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I don't see what the issue is, but
4701, you're up. 4701.
All right. 4701.
Yo.
Go ahead, bro. You're on the line. Hit us with your question.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys think I was looking at the total 3 minus USDT Bitcoin ratio, and I was wondering if you guys think if it will go from 0.4 to 0.5 and then come back down in November and then go back up.
Yeah, so the one that I was showing earlier was the same chart, but with stable coins. So you have that one without stable coins. So if you go back to that earlier part of the video and pause it, basically wherever this weekly candle closes on the total 3 with stable coins, there will be a sell setup signal on what I call the CC algo. And if we hold that level, so meaning if this week's candle is green and next week's candle is green, then whatever we do get in that early part of November will likely come down to the level of that total market cap of where we are at the end of this week. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So basically, wherever we close the end of this week, if we're green, any pullback should come back and use the area of the end of this week as support on that total market cap chart.
Yeah, it's like a higher low, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes visualization's a little easier. So if we're in the course, we'll be able to show you that. But
when we're bullish too, and then this is why we have the take profit scores as well, is that we're going to, like, either depending on where the high is, maybe it's the end of October or maybe it's in November, but when the prices start getting kind of ridiculous, we're going to sell a lot of like meme coin positions, like 90% off. Some of these, like, maybe take a little profit on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then basically see where we're at during the first quarter of 26. I do believe we're going to kind of go back up in the market, so we're going to reallocate capital there. But it's also kind of like an insurance policy to make sure that we take some profits. If the market, it looks like we are just heading down, or the 4-year cycle's in, I guess, then we just sell off the rest of the portfolio, and then we basically will buy the Bitcoin bottom again, basically. But I truly do believe we're going to go back up into early 26. So like I'm just going to rebuy back in, basically. But we're going to look at the data, yeah. And let me tell you this, most influencers won't tell you that shit. They're either doomers now, or they're like bulltards saying that it's going to go into fucking quarter 3, or it's never, like, there's a 5-year cycle now. We're not going down. We're just going into 28 high.
Yeah.
We're not even dipping, which is kind of crackhead behavior.
let's see if he has a follow-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
good to go.
Let's go to the. We got a quick message real quick from a sponsor, then we'll get right back into it. Actually, no, we should read chats after.
Yeah, chats
So,
after.
okay, this episode is sponsored by Perplexity AI. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend every day on a web browser, clicking around, typing, scrolling through the tabs, searching for one thing and getting distracted by 10 others? Yeah, it's a lot. Well, there's a new AI-powered web browser from Perplexity called Comet, and it's completely changing the way we use the internet. Using Comet feels like having a personal assistant living inside your browser, not that one can actually do things for you. Not just give you answers, it literally acts on them. You can ask Comet to handle tasks like ordering food, booking travel, shopping online, finding promo codes, sending emails, even summarizing YouTube videos, and it will literally click, type, scroll, and navigate like a real human would, all in the real world. You just tell it what you need, and Comet gets it done in the background while you keep living your life. I've been using Comet this week, and honestly, it's wild. I asked for it to find me the best flight deals from Miami to Barbados for next month. I guess that's for Fresh.
Yeah.
And it didn't just show me the links. It actually booked me the ticket compared to the prices and sent me a confirmation email. Then later, I had to summarize a long article for my stream prep. If you want to take back your time online, go download Perplexity's new AI browser. Comment right now. pplx.ai/fresh. And here's a bonus. When you download Comment today, you'll get a free month of Rumble Premium. And guys, honestly, bro, fuck Grok. You guys know we're annoyed by, ChatGPT and these other ones. So, it's another AI that you can use that hopefully won't be controlled by, Altman and all these other them boys ass niggas, man.
Also, the battle for supremacy of browsers with Google.
Yeah,
this is
fuck
a good,
Google,
the way to fight this, because at least with Comment, we have control versus Google is,
Fuck,
you know.
yeah, man, fuck Google, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Honestly.
But anyway,
W News sponsor.
yeah. So yeah, shout out to Perplexity.
Shout out
They
Comment.
work with Rumble.
Yep.
Comment
Yeah, one
works
thing
with
I want to
Rumble,
add
guys.
on that
All right,
is
other chats here.
we use Perplexity actually, and we have this webinar in the second half of the Crypto Mindset course where we have CAIO, a Chief AI Officer, come in, do a whole webinar about how to build AI agents to help you do better crypto research using some of the skills that we teach you in the course. So Perplexity is a great platform for that we highly recommend, and we'll be showing people how to build AI agents on Perplexity and some other agent browsers like that.
Yeah, these other AI things are completely owned by them boys, if you know what I'm saying, guys. We're on YouTube, so I can't go further. Okay,
we got
what do we
Kane.
got here, gentlemen? What are your thoughts on the hashtag ZigChain and Morphware $XMW?
Where's the where's
Oh, do you have it on the screen?
It says, I'll read it again. What are your thoughts on hashtag ZigChain and Morphware hashtag XMW? We'll see if we can show it to you guys.
We'd have to take a look at those two. I don't think I've ever seen those two coins before.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
next question.
Yeah.
As a CC Premium member, being a little JWE, what's the promo code for the Take Profits course if I already bought the CMC Q4 2025 course?
So email us. So if you're already in the quarter course for here, and you're part of CC Premium and you want that discount on the bundle, send an email to charlie@cultivatecrypto.com or support@cultivatecrypto.com, and just write, "Hey, I'm part of the Castle Club Premium. I wanted to grab the full bundle there on the discount. I didn't buy that earlier." Then we'll give you a special link for yourself.
Yeah, I put it in the chat for you guys.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Okay, Charlie Miguel, thanks for being real G's, helping the FNF community, and thanks for the sauce you gave on the CEO Network Zoom call. Bioware Crisis King. Appreciate you, One Chest.
Crisis King. Yep.
Hey, Charlie E. Berg and Migglestein, what do you think of Lofi, AVAX, and Cronos as a buy? I'm trying not to miss the bull market.
Yeah, those are great coins. Trump's backing heavy on Pro Token, Crypto.com. They're about to go public. Oh, hell yeah.
That looks kind of real, though.
Oh, yeah.
The memes write themselves.
I love it. I don't look Jewy enough in that picture. I don't know. Shame.
We look more like Neanderthals.
You look like Derek Moneyberg a little bit. There.
Looks like we're selling insurance.
All right, TBGT says,
We're going into Mordor.
I've already made my money back from buying the CMC, just from when I bought last time you guys were on. Much love from Canada. Don't roast me. Myron O/HH. What is it? What's it? HH?
We roast them.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Shout out to AVAX and Crow Token, good buys right now. They're good tokens, and they got ETFs and they got treasury companies on them. Trump's pumping like billions into Crow, and Crypto.com's about to go public next year.
What price for Ethereum when meme coins on ETH will start taking off? Clifton Holly.
$5,200.
Okay.
$200. You have to be basically like everybody who's ever bought Bitcoin, basically ever at all times since 2025 to 2009 is in profit right now.
Can I say this real quick, Charlie Miguel? So we have guys in there, right, on your course as well, and they talk with you guys all the time how you saved the money, you made the money, and everyone we've spoken to, I don't know what it is, but they've all made profits. If they listen to your advice, they make profits. So it's a no-brainer, guys. The course does work. We wouldn't be doing it this many times every year if it didn't work. So there you go.
Yeah,
It's not even a course. It's literally it's mentorship is really what it is. I don't even know. You guys should call it like a mentorship, because people think it's a course. It's like, oh, you're going to go through modules and learn something. No, it's like you show up to the Zoom calls. They're there right there in real time. You guys go for what, like 2-3 hours, and you guys like go over charts, discuss strategies. Like it's a mentorship where you basically get an exclusive inside look into how to make moves real time.
And I'm so impressed because the guy I met at the club, the busser boy, bought a property from his crypto gains. So I'm like, bro, that's fucking insane. Changed his life from one investment.
Did you have a homie buy a yacht from crypto gains too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro. Watches, cars, yachts. It's real, fellas. But you got to be smart about it. And of course, buy the right coins and sell.
Yeah, and take action too.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the show, let's look at the schedule for the course so everybody can kind of see what's happening with the webinars there.
Because they start tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, Castle Club got this nigga Mo. Yo, bruh. That's my birthday. Yo, can we show on the screen? No, right?
Or on YouTube.
Okay, never mind. Okay, tonight after hours.
Yeah, you can show
Cool.
him after.
What's next shot? Yeah, that's just hilarious, bro. That made my night. Mo getting dances made my night. Yo, that was hilarious. Shout out to Big Mo, man. The subject: 49K invested, $800 in my bank. Testicular fortitude.
Hell yeah,
Testicular.
man. He's a man investing. There's guys. Yeah, so usually there's guys in the first cycle you're investing heavy duty, but look, it's paid off. Look at that. He's almost got 50,000 in the market. 800 count. He's locked in. He's locked in.
He's not clocking in. He's locking in.
That's right, man.
That's the last one?
Yeah.
Last shot?
Yep.
All right, cool. One more phone call? Or
Yeah, we could do another phone call.
all right. Come on, Bitcoin Matt. See, call in. Call in, nigga.
Stupid.
Come on. We're here for you, brother.
2853, you are up. 2853, you're up.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, yeah, I had a question about Ethereum. I went heavy in it. I was wondering, is there any way that the cycle could be pushed into January?
Yeah, absolutely. So our main thesis is that the cycle is going to be pushed into Q1 most likely. We're going to take profits here before the end of the year on a good chunk of the altcoins that we're in. Ethereum by the end of the year, I think could be as high as 7,000 to 7,500. Maybe a little bit of a pullback from there into the beginning of January. And then I think we run again going into the second half of Q1. So yeah, I think you absolutely could see that. But it doesn't mean, when we do reach $7,000 or $8,000 Ethereum, at that point, it's not a bad time to take at least your original plus a little bit of profit off the table.
I got you. Because I was just wondering, because I did like price predictions. I basically did like a trade on top of my holdings. Basically, okay. I'm praying that Ethereum hits 6,000 by December 31st. Make a little extra money, but that was basically the question I had for you.
That's a great one because we usually get guys calling in. He's like, "Yo, you think we can hit like 20K on Ethereum by December?"
No, that's very realistic.
Yeah, because I basically put another 40K on top of like basically if Ethereum hits 6,000 by December 31st, I'll probably profit about 35K.
Beautiful.
On top of whatever I'm holding. So that's why I was just wondering.
Let's go.
Cash.
But all right, thank you guys, man. Appreciate everything I got. Fresh and Fit, man. I love you guys, especially y'all advice about, relationships and the way this country is going, especially you, Myron, man. Be safe out there. There's a lot of crazy liberals out there. So I just want to let y'all know I appreciate all the advice, the Money Mondays, and let's get this back.
All right. Good stuff, man. Cool. Right. So we're going to do some last minute stuff here for the show. I think, Charlie Miguel, anything, last thoughts?
Let's share the course schedule here for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, because classes start tomorrow, so we want to show
tomorrow. Yeah. Fellas, by the way, the course is going to stay open until tomorrow midday, just for you guys. Last call here. Of course, you guys see the value here on screen, obviously on the calls, but it's going to be in the Zoom calls, especially with the one-on-one, for sure.
All right, let me know if you can see that.
Yep.
Let's see.
Well, we see the charts.
Yeah, I think it's taking a second. Oh, can you not see the
No.
Oh, okay. Let me try to share one more time then. Let's see here.
Just click on that one directly.
Yeah. Sure. Let's try this again.
There we go. Yeah.
You guys got that one?
Yep, we got it.
Okay, sweet. So this is the schedule for the Q4 Crypto Mindset course. We have the October 6th. After this call here on Fresh and Fit, we're going to have our first webinar this evening, basically right away after the show. And then we're going to have two webinars tomorrow on October 7th, the Q4 thesis and a risk management webinar. And then we have 2 days off, basically 2.5 days off until October 10th, where we're back again. So anybody who does join the Crypto Mindset course, maybe you saw us on the last few streams, you weren't so sure, you decided to jump in now, or you just saw us on this stream and you're jumping in right now as we speak. Don't worry. These first 2 or 3 webinars that we have today and tomorrow, you usually get in within 24 hours after purchase. So you should be able to see tomorrow evening's webinar for sure if you buy now. But if you miss any of these webinars, they're all recorded. And then on the 8th and 9th, when we have those 2 off days, you'll be able to review them. No problem. You'll be in the chat. You'll be able to ask people questions. You'll be up to snuff in no time. that'll be perfectly fine. Then when we come back on the evening of the 10th, you'll be perfectly in time for the best swing trades of Q4, which is the webinar where we talk about where you can make some of the best money in Q4 based on trades. And then we go into a top 50 coin list, the most coins that you need to know the most in the crypto market. We have technical, fundamental, and on-chain analysis, which are our core 3 skill sets to at least understand. You're usually going to be deeply understanding 1 or 2 of them, and then kind of understanding 1 or 2 of them as well. So that way you don't get tricked in the crypto market by seeing something that people are putting information out there about, but it's false information. Also, if you're like really into one of these 3, then you can become an expert in it based on the information we give you. Then we have a Q&A halfway through the course, basically to give you guys, what do you call it, like a catch up. So we've given a lot of information up to that point. It's the current market information plus some of the best coins and trades that we're looking at information, plus the fundamental information about reminders about tools that you need to use in the market to understand the market. And so once we get to that point, we want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And then the second half of the webinars here, like I mentioned, we have that AI crypto research for dummies, which is a webinar where we teach you guys how to use like a Perplexity AI agent to get some of your crypto research more efficient. You want to explain a little bit about the different layer 1s, 2s for crypto versus natives versus Wall Street and guests and stuff?
Yeah. So one thing, just because someone asked in the chat, these are all EST times. So 10 p.m. EST, 10 a.m. ESTs, Eastern Standard Time. So basically, retail investing, we're basically going to break down in history lesson of like what's happened this cycle. Wall Street is very, very heavily dominated on this cycle, but the retail, there's a retail sort of side, kind of DeFi side to crypto, and we've broken it down on October 19th here with Wall Street L1s and L2s, which are basically Solana, Chainlink, sort of like basically coins that are very heavily skewed towards kind of like VCs, kind of U.S. government backing, and then in the afternoon we go into crypto native. These are much more like Ethereum kind of type ones like Lena and stuff like that, and like Pulse Chain, Sonic, things that are kind of like maybe halfway in between or stuff, or trying to get U.S. jurisdiction, but they're very like crypto native, and they were kind of sponsored by like people that have been in crypto for a long time versus like Wall Street ones, which is all VC money.
Yeah, kind of a DeFi focus on the natives.
Yeah. And then we go to October 22nd, surprise crypto founder. We always like to keep this a surprise until it actually happens. But basically we have a crypto founder of a pretty large project come on, kind of tell you about the project as well as tell you about what they're seeing in the market. It's always good to kind of get a founder's perspective of what's going on. We're going to have multiple founders and kind of big kind of industry guests come on, but we'll have them kind of in bonus webinars. Then we talk about October 22nd in the afternoon is end of year tax updates. We're going to give you tax updates of what's happened, like what are the new kind of like tax rules for crypto. Obviously, I got to say, we're not tax professionals, we're not tax consultants, tax anything. This is just what we do and what we do with our own stuff. We also give people like essentially like what we ask for when someone does our taxes. So people have your taxes in crypto.
Yeah, kind of how to hire somebody efficiently there. And also with the crypto founder guest, it's a great way to network because when they come in, they're with a more intimate group. We have a few hundred people in the course, and so it gives everybody a chance to ask a question to them, which is pretty rare, to be honest. And we've actually had people pitch themselves to different projects, and because they had talent in certain areas, they actually got hired by some of those crypto companies too. And then, we finish the webinar series here with these 17 live webinars with the closing time and extra coin picks to finish off the month. By the time we get to this area, we're probably going to be looking to take profits. We do have the Take Profits extension course that we're going to be following up with this. And then also, like Miguel mentioned, bonus webinars throughout the quarter and even into the beginning of Q1, early 2026. So we support you guys all the way here through the month of October, give you all the information we need, or all the information you need. And then we support you going through November, December, and January with all of this. So this is the most critical time in crypto for the last 4 years. So if you're ever going to get in, now is one of the best times to do so. And we'd love to see you all in there.
All right, we'll close out the last chats here and then head to after hours. That's you guys got club are hilarious, man. No more? Okay, we're good to go. All right, guys, get in the course, man. Charlie Miguel have been with us for years now. Give you guys massive amounts of value and advice. And honestly, bro, like I don't know a better way to scale up your money and as well make profits now than ever before, because real estate is where it's at. Also, as well, most investments are not safe, but at least with crypto, you can pretty much use their advice to win big and change your life. So, guys, get in the course, man. Link down below and in the chat. Peace out. After hours. Thanks, guys.